I just wanted to do a pre-nursing 2. I already have a first video out, and that was all the classes that I had taken to get as far as I did now, kind of, tips on that. But this one is more about other stuff that I didn't talk about, and not just the hardcore class stuff. It's more about the little stuff that you don't think about as you're going into the nursing classes. So I wanted to share that with you. The first thing I want to talk to you about is financial aid. That's really important. For some of you, it may seem, whatever. I understand I need to look at financial aid, blah, blah, blah. But the thing I'm going to tell you is that it's super important because there's money out there that you can utilize. The problem is it can be work. So, if it's not a big deal about the financial stuff, then you don't have to worry about it so much. But if you're like I am, and I was the head of household here, I was the one who brought in all the money. I had 2 kids. I got all that stuff to deal with. It was really important. I find good places to get money from, and then I found out about FAFSA from the school, and I applied for that, and I got in that, and that has helped me tremendously. One thing I will say is that don't lie on the application. They'll figure it out. They'll find you. So don't do that. Be as truthful as you can, and you'll be surprised you can get some money from that. The only ones I haven't really, the school students, they have a harder time with FAFSA because right out of high school, because usually they have to put their parents to it and the whole thing, and usually the parents are making enough money, maybe not, whatever, but they usually end up with not as much help. But if you're a parent, it really helped me a lot. So I wanted to make sure you share that with you. The other thing is make sure it's the right FAFSA. I've been told that there's a FAFSA out there that is not the government FAFSA. It's a scam. So here's the rule: if they ever ask you about paying money, it's not the right FAFSA. The FAFSA from the government is completely free. They will never ask you for money. So that is that's the tip on that. The other thing is look around to find out around you, and I'll give you an example. We have a VNA in our town, and there's actually VNAs around other towns as well. But in my specific town, Visiting Nurses Association, if you didn't figure that out, because I'm a pre-nursing student, I had stumbled on an ad that they had done about scholarships. It wasn't even specifically about scholarships, just about them and what they do. And there was like a little section in there that said, oh, and we give scholarships. So I was like, hey, that's different. I want to check that out. And I found it in the phone book of all places. I was just kind of like perusing. I don't even know why I was looking at it, but I just stumbled on it. And as it turns out, they're going to give me a good chunk, nice chunk of change to help me with the nursing. So I really could use that with the uniform and all that stuff. So, look into that because that could be a good resource. There's stuff out there. You just have to find it, So, the other big, huge tip that I want to give you is the advisors. Get the right advisor. And I'll tell you a little story about what happened to me. When I first started school, I wasn't really sure how to approach this whole thing. So I went to an advisor, and which was great. They gave me my first couple of classes and said, okay, this is what I want you to start with, which was fine because I really needed those anyway. It was fine. But after I started getting some literature, I started reading about the nursing program and how it works and all that stuff because I was very curious to know what I was supposed to be doing. I was still kind of clueless. And I read a bunch of stuff about some classes count more than others and this whole thing, so I got very concerned. After I started my classes, I went back to my advisor, and I was like, okay, so what am I supposed to be doing here? I had questions. I wanted to know what I was doing a year from now, 2 years from now, what I needed to apply. And she started going off on stuff, that it's not an associate's degree, scaring me about how many people get accepted, really putting a lot of doubt in my brain whether I wanted to do this or not. And I really wanted to do it, but she was like, I don't know. And the other things that she was saying about the program didn't quite jive with what I was reading. So I began to question her. I began to question like what she understood. So after that meeting, she gave me like this generic list of classes that I needed to take. It didn't seem right. So I did, again, I went through some literature and I found a lady who was specific for pre-nursing students. Nobody ever told me that. So, and I'm sure she was swamped, but the advisor that I had talked to should have said, hey, if you're going to be a pre-nursing student, let me show you the right person to go to. You know, take some humble pie, lady. Understand that you're putting me in the wrong direction. So I did. I went and seeked out this person. She turned out to be wonderful. I had a great relationship with her through my students, my college career. Got to be friends with her, and now that I'm actually in the program, she's a nurse. She's gonna help me get a job in the later on once I get my first semester in. She's like, oh, I'd love to have you, and it's because I began a relationship with her and I talked with her and I had meetings with her. So that's a huge tip. The first part of that tip is get the right advisor. Understand what you're going to need throughout the whole program, have it down on paper, and list it. Follow that to a T. If there's any deviation from that, go back to the advisor and explain it to them so that they can put you on the right place. The other thing is, this lady had knowledge of all the courses that were important, not important, the professors that were good, the professors that were bad, the ones that geared their curriculum to nursing. I mean, when I first stepped in there, I had no idea. And this lady, all I had to do was go to her, and she listed everything that I needed to know. And she had all the literature. She had, you know, other students that, oh, this professor was awful, and she never, she gave homework and then didn't correct it. All these little tips and stuff, and she gave me all that knowledge. So it's super important to find the right advisor. Okay, don't skip that part. Don't do it. Find the right advisor. Be adamant about finding the right advisor and getting the knowledge that you need. Um, do the reading about the nursing program. There's a whole packet that they gave that was online about nursing, packets. Um, I, and then I learned about they have like little sessions, classroom sessions about what to do and what to expect and all that stuff. And attending those was awesome. I figured out, what places I was going to go to for clinicals, how far it was going to be away, all that inside stuff that I needed to know. The other part is talk to the kids or the other students in your classes and find out what they're doing too. And I'll tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, she was going into the nursing program, but she went to the same advisor I went to the first time. And I said, whoa, go to this other lady. She was so thankful that I told her to do that. I tell you what, she's been a friend of mine from the start, and she got accepted too. And I like to think that I helped her out with that. So that's kind of one of the reasons I'm doing this video. But she was kind of on that same, like, I don't know, path. I'm just taking the courses this lady told me to take. I'm not really sure. So anyway, pass it along, if you will. And vice versa. She gave me tips on, different classes that she had already taken. Don't take this class, what time to take, So always talk to other people, find out what they're doing. They always have knowledge. They always want to share. So remember, you're in nursing. These people who are going to go into nursing care. So you'll find that throughout. Get to know other students, of course. Some of the other tips and tricks is make sure that you're organized, that you understand what you're doing. Put it down on a list. Like I said before, go through that list adamantly. Find out everything you can each time. Anytime you have a break, say summer vacation, winter vacation, go through it again. Relist the stuff that you've done. Put down your grades, whether you're happy with that. Know the courses that are important and not important. Underline those, highlight them, stuff like that. It'll help you out, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone into, classes and gone, what was that grade that I had gotten and what teacher was that and that stuff. So all I had to do was look at my book, and I had an answer for someone who wanted to know who to take next time. The NCLEX, that is the test that you're going to be taking when when you're done with the nursing school. But there's also another one. There's another test that you have to take, okay? And that is like a TEAS test or something like that, and that ranks you as you get into nursing. You also need to know about that stuff too. When I should take it, what time to take it, my advisor, the good one, said, "Hey, take it in the in the summer before you take it for real. So in other words, take a practice test, then take the real test. And if you don't like that, then you still have time to take it another time. You can take as many times as you want, and not every school is the same, so you may have a different test. But the truth is that she set me up on a course where I had my anatomy and physiology. I just did that. Then I took the pretest, my pretest, the NCLEX or the TEAS test that we call it, and I didn't get a great score. But then I took it again, and then I got a really good score. So, if I had just gone with this other way, I probably would have taken it once, right when I had to take it, and come up with a crappy score, and then I'd be stuck with it. So again, the advisor, I keep coming back to that. That's huge. They'll set you on the right path as long as you get the right one. So that's all for today. I wanted to show you next session. Since I got accepted, I did get accepted to a school, so they have this whole program that you went in and they orientated you and gave you all your books and all that stuff. So I might share that with you next time. Okay. So this is Sean. I wanted to say good luck to you. Fight for it. Keep going, and I will see you next time. Okay. All right. See you later.